Among the things that will happen now as admission season begins is that students and their parents will have to sign a pledge saying that they do not believe in ragging and they will not indulge in ragging. This is one of a slew of measures that the court is now trying to impose across the country. But on this program today, we debate, when did ragging change from being a tradition to another form of abuse? Will any number of laws make a difference as long as there continues to be social tolerance for ragging? And is there such a thing as mild and harmless ragging? Those are some of the questions we're going to raise in the program. I want to start with a man who has fought tirelessly in the last few months to create an anti-ragging awareness, Professor Raj Kachru, whose own son, we now know, in fact I think everybody knows, died as a result of ragging, was killed as a result of ragging. Professor Kachru, is there some reason in the midst of your own very horrific loss to believe that things are now finally on the right track, that if these things had been in place, perhaps your own son would not have died in the way that he did?
Yeah, we are making progress, but not sufficient. It's very difficult for me to say that the nation is not serious about it. You can see from there, from this Justice Pasaya, Justice Ganguly, Supreme Court spent hours on this matter in 2 months.
Yes.
It must be an example, and I don't think there will be another case where the two senior justices would spend so much time on this matter. So there is an indication, clear indication, that the authorities and the nation is very serious about it. But at the same time, we have to see, can it be implemented? Is it being implemented? All the laws are being formed, all the procedures are being formed. Here we have Dr. Raghavan with me, who spent I don't know how many years on it.
Yeah.
But repeatedly we are failing, and we are failing in the process of implementation.
I'm going to explore a lot of those things that you believe exist on paper but don't succeed in implementation. But I remember you coming on an earlier program and saying that you believe that the responsibility for ragging on a college campus or a school campus is eventually that of the principal.
That's right. And it's not only me. If you read the recent judgment of Justice Prasad and Justice Ganguly, they firmly endorse that. And it's very clear now that they have said that penal consequences should be imposed on the principal who doesn't take care. And it is also logical. I was talking to Dr. Raghavan outside, and I told him I feel very bad for the poor parents whose children are in jail today.
You feel bad for them?
Of course I feel bad for them.
They killed your son, sir.
They did.
And you feel bad for them?
I feel bad for their parents because they left their children in the hands of principal, assuming that he will look after them and the college will look after them, but they didn't.
I find that a very, both a generous and a controversial statement. Generous because you're able to feel it, controversial because can the principal be squarely responsible? We have, of course, Deepak Paintal, the Vice Chancellor, with us, but just before I come to you, I want to get Dr. R.K. Raghavan, who's kindly flown in from Chennai. You spent years making recommendations. You submitted your recommendations in 2007. We're in 2009. Another young boy has died. It was your idea actually to get students and parents to sign this pledge. Is this workable, sir? What was the idea behind getting people to sign an anti-ragging pledge?
No, I'm absolutely certain that it can work. It does work in a few institutions, but many others are indifferent. Not every institution gets this undertaking. And funnily, some parents who sign without reading what it's all about, and when asked later, they said they didn't remember having signed such a pledge. That's the state of affairs here. And to take care of this, take care of parents who do not understand English, the direction was that the undertaking should be taken in the local language as well. In spite of all this, some parents just sign blindly. That is the state of affairs which exists in a majority of institutions.